our government has proof that three competing extraterrestrial civilizations have been using this planet as a laboratory for genetic manipulation for at least 270 million years.
Humans have 46 chromosomes and all primates have 48. All primates on Earth. I
didn't know that.
Every single primate has 48 chromosomes. It has to do with packages of DNA, basically. What they found within the human Homo sapiens sapien was that there was something within our DNA where parts of it had been like altered. Yeah, I'm like serious. And what they call those alterations and those things that scientists don't know, they call it junk DNA. That's what scientists call it, because when they compared every other comparable thing on Earth genetically, they found this small little area within our genetics that doesn't match anything on the planet. But here's the thing that's weird. Not only take the chromosome thing for a minute, which is very, very strange, because how something like a splicing of a DNA or altering could happen naturally, I've seen no anthropologists or scientists that can explain that. We're not strong anymore at all. Neanderthals and Denisovians were unbelievably strong.
Right.
The way that we have genetic diseases and the way our bone structure is and everything, it's like it was designed in a way to function for a different reason, to not be living off the land, to function as something with like a greater purpose.
Yes.
How do you tell people that this species, this race that we are all a part of, is a hybrid race, that we were genetically created by an extraterrestrial intelligence? How do you tell them that? Carefully. You look around and you tell them carefully, depending on where you are. Now, if you're in Baghdad talking to some Sunnis or Shia, you don't even bring the damn subject up. How do you tell them that every major religion on the planet has been initiated and orchestrated by extraterrestrial intelligence? How do you tell Christian fundamentalists that that lovely man from Galilee 2,000 years ago was a part of that program? Mm-hmm. You don't tell them that unless you've checked the exits and know how the hell you can run and get out of the house.
Hey, it's Glamham. We're looking at a still image taken by NASA's Mars Curiosity rover. Everything looks fairly rocky and ordinary and Mars-like until you zoom in and see what appears to be a shiny Tic Tac that doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the scenery. The ex-user who posted this ran the image through AI. He got 1% likelihood of artificial intelligence. I did the same thing and I got 16%. I tried a second AI detector that did say most likely human, not AI. And to give an idea, I uploaded an image from one of my recent mermaid videos that is 100% AI, and it was detected as such. Users also posted that NASA had deleted the image, but I did in fact manage to find, well, at least what seems to be the original image. I ran this through an AI detector and it came up only 2% likely to be AI. So there's two theories here. One is, did NASA change something that had been seen? Or has somebody very cleverly photoshopped a shiny Tic Tac in? Even if this is a doctored image, I have to say there's plenty of very unusual things that have been caught before in NASA's photography.
Roswell wasn't an accident. It wasn't just a UFO crash. It was a recovery mission for something buried long before 1947. The technology retrieved in Roswell was never meant to be found. Because it wasn't alien in the way we've been told. It was ancient. It was something humanity once possessed but lost, a remnant of a forgotten war between gods, fallen beings, and those who tried to keep their knowledge hidden. The world's most powerful forces didn't discover something in Roswell. They covered up a revelation that could expose the greatest lie ever told, humanity's true origins and the war for the soul itself. The lie about aliens, it's much, much older than that. For decades, the official narrative has been Roswell was aliens. That was the distraction, the misdirection, because the truth is far more terrifying. What crashed in Roswell wasn't just an advanced craft, it was forbidden knowledge. A relic from the time when the Watchers, the Annunaki, the Nephilim, and the so-called gods of the ancient world ruled over mankind. Roswell was never about extraterrestrials from another planet. It was about the return of something buried long before modern history. The Sumerian tablets tell of skyships piloted by the Anunnaki who descended to Earth, bringing technology beyond human comprehension. The Vedas speak of Vimanas, aerial craft used in ancient wars between gods, powered by elements lost to time. The Book of Enoch warns of the fallen watchers who gave mankind advanced knowledge in metalworking, genetics, and weaponry before they were cast down and imprisoned. And in 1947, the descendants of those ancient rulers came looking for their lost technology. Roswell wasn't just about the craft, it was about what was inside it. The recovered bodies were not extraterrestrial in the way you've been told. They were genetic remnants, not from another world, but from an earlier time in our own history. Humanoid, but not human engineered, created, manufactured. Small-bodied, enlarged heads designed for something beyond what our physiology allows. Not alive in the way we think. Were they organic machines, biosynthetic entities created to pilot advanced technology? What if Roswell was not an accident, but an operation? Was the craft sent here intentionally, retrieved, before it fell into the wrong hands? Did something awaken underground, something long buried, and they needed to contain it? Was the wreckage a message, a warning from those who once ruled over us? This is why CERN, AI, genetic modification, and quantum computing are accelerating. They are reverse engineering something they do not understand. And the more they try to control it, the more they risk unleashing something that was sealed away for a reason. The cover-up of Roswell was not about protecting national security. It was about controlling time itself. Think about it, 1943, the Philadelphia experiment, an attempt to manipulate space-time, rumoured to have transported a ship and its crew into another dimension. 1947, Roswell, a retrieval of something ancient, something linked to past civilizations and the future of humanity. 1983, the Montauk Project, a classified experiment on psychic warfare, time travel, and interdimensional portals. Each event connects. Each event suggests a hidden war for control of the timeline. Is CERN an extension of these projects, attempting to open the very gates that keep something imprisoned? The Annunaki, the Watchers, the Fallen Ones, they were locked away for a reason. Roswell wasn't just a crash, it was a moment of reckoning. And since then, the world's most powerful organizations have been preparing for their return. The ultimate question, what happens when the prison doors open? The Bible warns us of a time when the abyss will be opened. The fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. Revelation 9:1-2. What if Roswell was a signal? What if CERN is trying to reopen what was sealed? What if we are standing on the edge of something that was prophesied thousands of years ago? Because if the rulers of this world have been preparing for something hidden beneath the surface of history, the real question is, are you ready for what comes next?
Hey friends, so do the gray aliens look the way they do because they were designed by the gray aliens? So this is a fun one, so stick with me here. So I love talking about the gray aliens because everyone knows what a gray alien looks like, whether you've seen one in person or not, and millions of people have. So they exist in some form. And when people describe them, they always say the same things. Big head, small body, big eyes, small mouth, small nose, small ears, long fingers. So it's across the board. It changes a little bit, but there is definitely a stereotypical gray alien. Now, the main theories on what a gray alien are, because even though we call it an alien, most people don't think they come from like other planets. The two leading theories are humans designed them and created them as like a drone in the future, like a little helper assistant, or they actually are future humans. A lot of people say that. And there's a guy named Michael Masters, and he dives into this deep, and I love him. He's really good at what he does. He's an anthropologist who studied, ancient humans and how we evolved over the years, and he saw Communion by Whitley Strieber, and there's a stereotypical gray alien on the cover, and he saw that face, and he said, whoa, this is potentially what a human would evolve into millions of years in the future. But something dramatic would have had to happen to maybe drive us into space or underground and get those big eyes. But he's like, I could see humans looking like this in the future. So he kind of hypothesized that these grays are future humans. My only problem with that is that when people encounter them, they always talk about how unhuman they seem. Lacking soul, lacking empathy, lacking emotions and feelings. They only speak telepathically, that kind of stuff. So it's possible that we just lost our humanity way in the future. But it also, I don't know. I don't know if these are future humans because people always talk about how unhuman they seem. And then if you talk about, okay, well, maybe humans develop these and design these in the future. Well, I can't see any time where humans would design a robot that looks like what we call a gray alien. It's not something I could see coming out of a human design department. We design things to be more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know why we would give it the features and everything that it has. Like, why even give it a mouth and ears and a nose if it doesn't use them, that kind of stuff. So I can't really see humans designing a robot that looks the way we see gray aliens looking. But then I pulled on this thread, and this is where it gets fun. There is a scenario where, you know, we're getting really good at creating these robots. There's a company called Clone that just came out one today that has this like skeleton and muscle system. It's called a musculoskeleton or something. And I mean, it looks like a biological robot. It's creepy. We're already making those. And we're very close to ASI, which is artificial super intelligence. So imagine a point in the future where we have these very advanced robots that are basically synthetic biology. I mean, we can grow organs in a lab, for God's sake. So it wouldn't be hard to make a biological synthetic, you know, robot, and then infuse it with ASI, you know, artificial superintelligence, so it's incredibly smart, and that they, at some point, start making and designing themselves. And maybe they create a fusion between, like, human genetics and their, like, binary genetics, you know, and they create this, you know, robotic, you know, this synthetic biological robot that is a fusion between humans and, you know, this artificial superintelligence, and it comes out looking like a gray alien, right? Like, I can see that. I can see this being this fusion between the two, but produced and designed by it, because it wouldn't care as much about aesthetics like how we do. It would be more utilitarian, and that would be a gray, okay? So that's super interesting. That kind of merges the two. It's not like a human-made robot, and it's also not humans from the future. It's kind of both. Then you'd say, okay, well, why are they here, right? Well, what if they had craft that were based on gravitics, and then when you realize that when you manipulate space, you also manipulate time, because there's a space-time continuum and they're intrinsically linked. So if they started using these anti-gravitic machines to travel, then they could figure out real quickly, because they have ASI, right, artificial superintelligence, they would know so much about the universe and physics and how everything works. They could easily traverse time in these time machines, because that's what these anti-gravitic machines are, is time machines. And then they could hop around timelines the way that we pause, rewind, and fast forward movies, right? It wouldn't be a problem for them. And maybe they're coming back here to kind of mess with us because, I don't know, maybe they're trying to infuse the soul into their soulless vessel. Maybe they're trying to improve on their genetics. Maybe, I don't know, but it seems like they can just hop around at will because they know how to manipulate space-time, you know, because maybe they're infused with artificial superintelligence. So does a gray look the way it looks? Because it designed itself, you know, and it's kind of a fusion between humans and, you know, robotics. I don't know, but that actually makes a lot of sense, right? So anyways, let me know what you guys think about that. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, and the energy capabilities of that would put the Pentagon out of business. We wouldn't be fighting these worthless wars overseas over oil, and American boys and girls wouldn't be dying. It would put the war pigs out of business, and they'd have to go somewhere else, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And I was told by leadership that it was blocked by the intelligence community, not the intelligence committee, but the intelligence community. And that is a very chilling effect. If someone can reach through the veil of government and pierce it to the point of we do not have access to something, you got to start asking yourself who the hell's in control. And I think it'd be wise for you all to start looking at some financial disclosures of some of those corporations, some of the people who do the stonewalling in this town. And that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start talking to people. We're going to start naming names. Yeah.
Representative Ogle said if we're denied, we're going to use the Holman rule.
This is one of several home videos recorded that night last March. A few say they saw the lights as far as 100 miles north of Phoenix. Many more saw them over the city or to the south, as seen here. At the Phoenix airport, there was nothing unusual on the radar, but controller Bill Grava and his colleagues could see the lights.
They were amber colored, very bright, and on a scale of 1 to 5, with an airplane light being maybe 2, these are 4.5 at least.
Dorito UFO saga continues. We have some footage coming out of Madrid, Spain, of a triangular shaped object floating in the sky. And we also will have another piece of footage coming from Ontario, Canada, of the same exact occurrence, okay? In the past week, we've probably had about 9 to 10 different pieces of footage showcasing these strange triangular formations floating in the sky, either hovering, rotating, or just straight up darting off into the distance, right? And Spain is being quite prolific in sort of with these sightings happening on a more frequent basis, all right? Let's look at the one in Canada as well. And this is the piece of footage coming out of Canada. And before people say, oh, you know, 3 points always make a triangle, 3 points also make a line, so what's your point, right? So these strange sightings all have a similar correlation of becoming a triangular formation, right? And they're either orbs that glow and they appear in and then vanish off, like this piece of footage here. These 3 lights are kind of hovering through and then cracking on, and then eventually they do disappear, right? And again, another correlation of what these things are appearing and just vanishing. I don't know, man. So we do need to kind of relate this to all the other sightings we've had across the world. We've had Spain, obviously. We've had France. We've had Vietnam. We've had Thailand. We've seen some in Russia as well. We've seen it in the UK. We just had Wales at the beginning of the week that I posted earlier on, with another triangular formation floating through the sky. And this is something that is happening more and more, mate. So, I don't know. People need to start paying attention. Oh, mate, we have a piece of footage, from what I can gather, coming out of Brazil of a strange orb-like object floating in the sky, and this was filmed on an S23 Ultra. Look at the state of this object, bruv. Right? What is that about, okay? When we're talking about potentially organic type UAP UFOs that exist, what the f is that? Right? This kind of looks similar to the thing that we saw in Kolkata, India, a little while ago from a distance, okay? But this is zoomed in of some strange activity. I mean, we've got some people saying that this is a hologram, or some people saying this is some sort of nest or some sort of rubbish in the sky, but this thing was floating for a while and then vanished off shortly after. A correlation that happens with a lot of sightings that we come across, okay? And again, making no sound. I do not know, mate. It kind of looks biblical in nature. If I'm going to say anything, it looks like a seraphim almost, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, but what the... Mate, if you thought this situation couldn't get any crazier with the egg-shaped UAP, oh my god. So this handsome-ass alien that apparently got recovered in the middle of Antarctica out of a cryostasis thing, right? There's a 10-minute interview from the United Nations Office of Outerspace Affairs, just released an interview with this handsome, legless-looking guy right here, right? He's absolutely insane, dog. I'm gonna just play this right now. You guys get some chips or crisps or whatever, put your feet up, get your slippers on, and listen to this shit, dog, because you are gonna lose your mind.
Okay, let's see if I have everything ready. Okay, recording number 67, 22, January 2025, 15:35. Gravação número 67, 20 delusionally 25, 15:35, enregistrement número 57, 22 janvier 2025, 15:35. Okay. How are you, Seth? Good. Thank you for allowing me to ask you these questions once more. My night's kinda tiresome. Okay. By the way, did you read what was said about you on the 4chan forums?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you find it amusing?
Interesting, good. Questions were strange, but many was different and good.
I guess that's just how we are. Now, I know you hate these...
I don't hate. Anger is not an emotion for my people.
I'm sorry.
Don't feel you did nothing wrong.
If you don't mind, back to the question. Why were you in that why were you in that cave alone?
As I said countless times, I was alone.
Yes, but why? I mean, how does the technology that kept you alive work? Is it a form of stasis? We know it's not cryogenic.
This must evolve alone. Otherwise, if I helped you with, how you say, technology, I won't be better than the ones who made you. The ones who co-opted you.
You refuse to answer.
I refuse to disgrace you and your ancestors.
Okay, that's fine. How old is the vessel, as you call it? You call it the vessel. We call it the hex shape.
It was built by my people 3,000 years ago in the land you once called Hem.
Kemet.
Hem.
Where is Kemet? Hold on. Hold on a sec. Okay, here. In the phone. Where in the map is Kemet?
The one that says Egypt.
Oh, okay, Egypt.
This
okay, I see. Okay. It's old then. It's really old. I know you don't want to answer this, but I have, question. I have to pose the question again. How does it work? How do we get inside?
I said this before. No. Must I repeat myself?
I know, but it's for the British Ministry of Defense. You know, there are many countries involved, many nations who want your help to. I won't force you to talk if you want to.
Why do you want my vessel? So you can kill more people?
What your ally says.
But, sir, you are not an ally to your brother, the other human. I know that if I give you the key to my vessel, you will kill a guy and a guy and a guy.
That technology could save lives.
In your hands, that is not the first option, is it? You want second option, powers, conquest, operation.
Very well. I won't bother you again. You know, that's just be my job. Can you tell me about the technology where you were sleeping?
No.
I'm gonna barge. Not feeling generous today, are we?
I want to help your kind becoming better. Then we'll talk technology. Would you give a weapon to a child? No. The baby would hurt themselves and other people.
Good point. Okay. What questions can you answer?
All technology-related questions will be rejected.
Mathematical questions?
Please. Yeah.
Can you... Can you identify the sequence of prime numbers within your numeral system?
Prime numbers are fundamental in mathematics and might be, let's say, universally recognized. You could say that's how God created or emanated everything.
Do you have time to understand what the Riemann hypothesis is? No? Can you explain it to me? Can you give us an answer?
Yes. The Riemann hypothesis is correct. All non-trivial zeros of the Z function lie on the line RE equal 1/2. It is based on the symmetry of prime numbers and energy stability in the mathematical field.
Okay. Can you, I know I've asked you this before, but I have to, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Can you tell me if there was life on Mars?
As I stated before, yes, it was annihilated by your makers. Their civilization, rich, quite developed state. They were, how do you say, good people. People who loved each other as one. Unity. Your makers didn't love anyone but their self.
I think you called it ego yesterday, didn't you?
Ego. I love English. It is quite similar to a language of a people that we interacted with very long ago.
Oh, you spoke about this before, the Proto-Europeans. You've studied them, right? Didn't you?
Good people. Sadly, their desires of conquest conquered their hearts.
About this Mars civilization, were they human like us?
No, but some managed to come, however, your, how do you call it, by
in English,
your
DNA.
genetic
This case would be DNA.
DNA. Your human DNA was not compatible with theirs. They couldn't mate, thus they disappeared.
Are there still like are the bodies or mummies of these people from Mars still on Earth?
Yes, but I will not disclose location.
I'm asking you this because, as you might have noticed, I've sent you a video of the so-called Mexican mummies. Did you get to see it?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me if it's real, if it's not real?
Yes. I believe so. Yes.
Good. What were these beings? Who were these beings? Are they connected to the ones that came from Mars?
Chimera, mixed of sentient creature, a remnant of your makers.
Chimera. Oh, you mean hybrids, so they're mixed. Okay.